Hello, dear viewers. This is a friendly reminder that I do not have a WhatsApp or Telegram account, and I do not have any giveaways running. Comments like these are spam and are not real giveaways. Do not contact them, give them your information, or $100 to ship a fake giveaway prize. Thank you. Now feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Oh my goodness, my friend. There was so much that happened this past week that I would say probably 5 of the top news stories I'm going to tell you today could have been the lead story. Like, this is an action-packed week of news, of good things, of bad things, of questionable things. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this stuff with you because I want to hear your opinion and your takes on all of this stuff. Benefit getting in trouble for taking a brand trip to Hawaii. We've got Natasha Denona in some drama with an independent beauty brand over the use of a specific name. I mean, just so many things. I'm not even going to talk anymore. I'm going to just roll the intro. Okay, my friend, so I have been doing this makeup news show for like 6 years, and I have never seen this much interesting information happening in top news. So let's just jump into it and start talking about Benefit Cosmetics and their trip to Hawaii. So if you've been around the beauty space for a while, you probably remember brand trips being this huge thing back pre-pandemic where brands would invite influencers on a trip. It's usually to celebrate a launch of a product, and then the influencers in exchange for the trip, they end up posting on their social media about the new product and advertising for it. Well, Benefit decided they were going to take one of their trips to Hawaii and invite a bunch of influencers. But the problem is that people in Hawaii, people who live in Hawaii, have very strongly asked people not to come to Hawaii, to not be tourists in Hawaii, because they are having a ton of issues post-pandemic with water shortages and ridiculous overcrowding and, you know, lots of traffic and long lines at restaurants. And it's just, the islands are all just super overcrowded. And people saw this trip that Benefit planned with all these influencers as extremely tone deaf because of the residents there. In response to the backlash, there was one influencer that pulled out of the trip and decided that she wasn't going to go. And that was Michaela Noguera, who is a very big TikTok beauty influencer. She decided to take the leg of the trip and go to Los Angeles, but she was not going to continue on to Hawaii. And then she promoted the brand new Benefit box blushes from home when she got them. I don't know of anybody else who publicly said that they ended up deciding not to go. There's an article in the Huffington Post where they asked Benefit, you know, what their response was to the backlash, and this is what they said. They said that a spokesperson claimed the team is, quote, committed to supporting local communities in everything we do. Our global launch event in Hawaii is no different. The statement is a lot longer. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the screen for you now so that you can pause to read if you like. But essentially it says that they support local culture and work with cultural experts to pay tribute to Hawaiian culture. They also stated that they carried out a beach cleanup and made a donation to Sustainable Coastlines Hawaii alongside supporting a number of local businesses. So where I stand on this, I kind of equate it to someone coming into my home. If I ask someone to remove their shoes, especially if they're muddy, in my home, I would like for them to respect that. And I kind of see it similarly with Hawaii, that the people that live there are saying, please slow down the tourism, like come another time. Like we want you to come, just not right now. It's just, we're having issues. And people just aren't listening. And I think that it's very disrespectful of Benefit not to listen. They could have easily planned a trip to another place. I know that Hawaii is part of their branding with like the hula bronzer and all of that, but they could have easily gone to a different place. I do appreciate that they are supporting local businesses and doing the beach cleanup and all of that, but I don't think that's enough because residents are specifically starting petitions and things telling people not to come. And I personally think it's disrespectful, but I would love to know what you think. This next story really blew up in the last couple of days. So what happened is that Natasha Denona is releasing some skincare makeup hybrid stuff. It's called High-Gen SkinGlass, and it's marketed as, quote, blending the best of modern skincare technology with the transformative power of makeup, which is probably going to be very exciting for Natasha Denona fans. But it is not exciting for one small business owner who owns a company called SkinGlass. Technically, it is called NoorFace SkinGlass because the owner's name is Noor, and the main branding on all of her products is SkinGlass. So when she saw that Natasha Denona was coming out with this product with SkinGlass on it, she flipped out. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the image on the screen of the full text of her Instagram post. It is quite long, but she was pissed off. She was really, really pissed. Essentially, she's expressing how violated she feels, and that she says she knows 100% that Natasha and her team know what SkinGlass is, and that they felt, quote, entitled to stealing it because, quote, your brand is bigger and you're richer. So in response, Noor posted an Instagram story. I'm gonna go ahead and play that Instagram story for you now.
I'm really, 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 really disappointed and upset at how blatant and how entitled Natasha Denona is for what her company did. Again, like I said, when you type in SkinGlass in Google, my brand comes up, and it has been coming up for a very long time. Well, because I've been doing this for 4 years. But some of you may not know that, because as a small woman of color owned brand, it's hard to gain visibility. It's hard to maintain it. And I have authentically and genuinely gotten so much support from people just spreading the word of mouth. These big brands have a way of like making you feel this big, and I just will not allow that. And I appreciate every single person that was already familiar with SkinGlass, or maybe has just gotten familiar and can blatantly see what the is going on. It's just here first, and I created this from the ground up. From literally the ground up. No money, no funding, no resources, no fancy industry friends, nothing. Like, I did this by my self, and for someone to just take it like it's nothing, it's like, it's just not gonna work like that. This is just day one, and I will protect and support my brand till the end.
The next day, Natasha came on and she also posted an Instagram story. Now, it is quite long, so I am cutting it just a little bit, but I will post an unlisted version of it for you with a link down in the description if you want to watch the full unedited clip.
Hi, everyone. I am here to address what's going on in my feed right now, the whole drama about High-Gen, my newest launch, and I believe that this will be the last time I'm addressing this officially. I love my products to be different from anybody else's. So this is my DNA, this is my ideology as a creator, founder, and makeup artist since day one. Actually, I am being copied for so many years. Usually people that are super original and have, like their uniqueness and DNA, they are being copied many, many times. So I have suffered from being copied myself. So I would never ever do something like this to somebody else. This has to be clear. I hope that this is super clear. I was even the first one, at least one of the first ones, using the term glass skin. So for me, naturally, and this is like really a couple of years ago, like something like 5 or 6 years ago, I think. And I use this term since then, and everybody does. And for me, it was just natural to continue with this concept when I started working on the High-Gen concept, and to call it High-Gen SkinGlass Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. This was for me like a natural development and continuation to what I do for so many years. So but we did not we made a mistake and did not trademark the description of the product. We trademarked only the name, which is Hygiene, and SkinGlass Energizing Hydrating Primer Serum. We did not. If we would have done it like we usually do, then we would have figured out that we would find out that this is belonging to somebody else. The word SkinGlass only, and really deeply apologize. This was a really naive and stupid mistake, completely overseen, which is not okay. It's not an apology. We will learn from this. Try to figure out what we can do to respect the brand, the SkinGlass beauty brand, and so we're not going to use the word SkinGlass in our communication, not in our captions, newsletters. Wherever we can avoid using the word, we will.
So this is me having a perspective that's more of a forest instead of a tree perspective of just kind of what I think of it. And really what it comes down for me is I feel like this was kind of a dumb mistake. Like Natasha said in her Instagram story, it was a stupid mistake. I feel like her company should have at least, even if they weren't going to trademark it, at least Googled SkinGlass to see if there was going to be an issue. And the thing is glass skin is a very common term. It's a K-beauty term. I found it going back to 2017 is the first things I could find on the internet about it. And if she had just called it glass skin, which is more of a makeup technique rather than SkinGlass, she would have been perfectly fine and none of this would have happened. But then, that being said, NoorFace SkinGlass is the trademark. I'm going to show you the screenshot of the trademark right now. And now I'm not a trademark lawyer, but she specifically isn't trademarking SkinGlass. She's trademarking NoorSkin SkinGlass. So technically, in my non-professional opinion, it seems like she doesn't really have a case here, even though that is prominent on her branding. It does seem that Natasha is using it kind of as a secondary branding rather than a primary branding. The primary branding is going to be that Hygiene. And then the other thing is that the packaging itself is completely different. They don't look anything like, even if they are a similar product. And also, they're not being sold at the same places. If SkinGlass was being sold in the same locations as Natasha Denona, let's say Sephora or Beautylish, then there might be a problem, but they're not sold in the same places where someone might be able to get them confused. So even though I do understand why Noor is upset, and I feel like she has a right to be upset and to be disappointed that someone else, a bigger brand, is using her prominent branding, I don't think she has a legal case. But I do think if I were Natasha Denona, for me, as just like a good faith thing to do, I know this is, maybe it's just me, but in the next round of packaging and on the website and everything, once I ran through all of this stuff, I would change it to glass skin instead of SkinGlass, just as a good faith thing to do. She doesn't have to. I mean, I really don't think she has to, but I think it would be a nice thing to do. But in business, it's not a nice world, is what it comes down to, unfortunately. The other thing it comes down to is that SkinGlass is getting so much press at this point. There are so many people that are finding the brand because of this, that in the end, I think this is going to be a net positive for Noor. And she actually said that in an Instagram post. I'm going to put that on the screen for you, where she said she's gotten so much love and that it's elevated her brand because of this controversy. So Noor is not going to be out. Noor seems like she's doing very well because of this. But then again, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. This next story I normally wouldn't have done because it's not really, it just kind of shows the misogyny that is still in the beauty space. And if you're poo-pooing feminism and all of that, just wait. Just wait for it. So Tatcha's founder, Vicky Tsai, who stepped down as CEO of Tatcha back in, I think it was 2019, recently did an interview with Inc.com about why she left the brand and also why she has come back as CEO, and it was a fascinating interview. It's linked down below if you'd like to watch the whole thing. Because of the way they uploaded it, I wasn't able to download it and put it into this video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and put the visual of her video, but I'm going to quote her over top of it so you can know what she said, because it just blew my mind that this kind of stuff still goes on. So here we go. This is what she says in the video. Quote, I brought in a private equity company about 3 years ago before we did an exit to Unilever, because they did sell to Unilever. And during that time, one of the partners actually recommended that I get a quote, real CEO, and somehow my track record and my credentials didn't matter. At the time I said, in the 9 years that I've run the company, our minimum growth rate has been 40%. In year 9, it's 85%. Is there some reason that you think that I'm not capable of doing the job anymore? And he never gave me an answer. He just said, if your ego is so big that you need to be CEO, then we can have that conversation. And it felt both humiliating and like a threat. So I stepped down and I brought a new leadership team, and it didn't go in the direction that one would hope. So I think most founders who step in as a second-time CEO, we tend to have the same experience, which is that the thing that made your company so special, that magic, that way of being, that mission, sometimes when you bring in outside leaders, it doesn't always translate and stick. And then she goes on to talk about how in 2021, they asked her to come back, and now she is CEO and CMO, and her husband is COO and head of technology, in order to put that Vicky Tsai magic back into the brands. It really is a fascinating interview. I highly recommend you check it out. I was just really thankful for this interview and that she was just so candid, and I think I'm a Vicky Tsai fan. I do. I kind of fell in love with her a little bit during this video. Don't tell John. Okay, if you missed my Friday video and you're not on the TikTok, then you may not have heard about the controversy surrounding the Jones Road What the Foundation and the TikToks that have been going around about it. There was one particular TikTok that was done by Meredith Duxbury, I think is how you pronounce it, Duxbury, and she tried it and she wasn't a fan of it, and Bobbi Brown clapped back. So let's watch Meredith's video real quick so you can kind of see the choice she made to use Bobbi's new foundation.
You know me and my hands, so let's just go right in. Smells very strong. Let's apply. I mean, I am the foundation queen, so I'm not sure what to make of this consistency. My hands can't, what's going on here? You guys, I'm really trying. It's gonna be a no from me. I really wanted to like this though.
I just want to give just a little backstory on Meredith. This is the way she seems to apply all foundations. She rocks that full coverage look, but she wasn't using this the way that Bobbi recommended it based on the description on the website. I mean, no one that reads the description would suggest putting it on like that. There's just so many problems with it. But it's not the way that Meredith does foundation. It's not a foundation that's meant for her. So Bobbi Brown put out her own TikTok kind of joking around about Meredith. Let me show you.
So I always love learning new makeup techniques, and I learned one today. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to try. Didn't really work.
I also want to note that Bobbi, since Meredith uploaded her video, and it's just been all over TikTok, Bobbi has put up quite a few of her own tips and tricks on how to use the foundation on her TikTok. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're on the platform and you were thinking about buying this. My full review of this is in Friday's video. I'll link it down below for you. This headline caught me by surprise, and I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And then I was like, oh, Ulta Beauty is launching a media network. And I was like, oh, is it gonna be like QVC? Oh, that's so cool, that's so smart. No, it's not, but it does affect customers. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. If you notice things changing in store, in your emails, on the website, this is why. Essentially, it's a new way that they're gonna be working with brands. Ulta is gonna be using the sales data from their 37 million Ulta Rewards members in order to more specifically target customers for specific brands. They say that through hyper-focused advertising and their ability to create more iterative opportunities within the ever-evolving omni-channel environment. So in English, it seems like brands that pay are going to be able to use the data from Ulta's website, from your shopping experiences and your shopping choices in order to more specifically target ads to you. They want to make it easier and faster for brands to create targeted advertisements, as well as using data reports to show what is working and what isn't working as far as sales. I know a lot of people are concerned about their data being used in ways that they don't like. I mean, that is our social media, our Google, our everything, where the large companies are using our choices to identify who we are and what we want. Ulta is no different. They're just kind of intensifying that. And where my concern mostly is for this, besides the whole using your data thing, is that it is going to bury smaller brands that maybe can't afford to participate in a program like this, that we are going to need more people outside of Ulta advertising for those smaller brands that really truly have legitimately good products so that they'll be able to stay afloat if they can't afford a program like this. Ulta hasn't released how much it costs to participate in this, or even if there is a cost, but that's kind of where I'm feeling. I mean, I've heard about brands leaving larger retailers like Ulta and Sephora because of lower sales, and I would imagine that with something like this, it's going to keep bigger brands afloat and it's going to push those smaller brands down, which is pretty sad. Of course, Trend Mood again has released information about something that the brand hadn't announced yet and was 100% right. Bite Beauty announced this week that yes, they are officially closing. Posted on Instagram what Sophie had posted on her Instagram last week, which is that they are closing Bite Beauty, but they are keeping open and expanding the Bite Beauty Lab experience. And if you've never done this and it's in your budget because it's really freaking expensive, it really is a lot of fun. I'm going to put on the video that they have as a promo video on their Instagram, put on the screen for you so you can kind of see what you do there. Essentially, they have one of their employees will mix up lipstick for you. You get to pick the finish. You get to pick the scent of it. They flash freeze it so you can take it home. A new thing that they're doing is you can engrave a name into it. So it's got its own custom unique name. I mean, it's really freaking cool. So the cost of this is $60 for the first shade and then $40 for each additional shade. And if I remember correctly, they give you a card with the specific mix of what you mix into your lipstick so you can reorder it if you run out, which I think is really cool. If you are looking to buy something from Bite Beauty before they close as a brand, as a retail space, they do have 50% off right now, but all sales are final. I do have an update for you. If you watched last week, the story about Morphe's inherently dangerous eyeshadows, which really, in my opinion, are not inherently dangerous, no matter how much I don't really like Morphe as a brand, I don't think they're inherently dangerous, not any more than any other cosmetics where someone may have some kind of allergic reaction, but that's just me. Anyway, I digress. Full story is in last week's show, again, linked down below. It'll also be linked in a card at the end of the show. So the fashion law took up on this story, and when the fashion law takes up on a story, they always have more information because they are able to read the entire lawsuit and they pick out things that maybe other people don't. So what we learned that's new from the fashion law is that plaintiffs are, quote, seeking damages that exceed $5 million, injunctive relief, and certification of their class action to enable as many as tens of thousands of other people who have been damaged by Morphe to join the pool of plaintiffs. So my question is at this point, is this something that's going to settle out of court like Huda Beauty did, or are they going to go all the way through with this? I know I will be keeping my eye on this. I'll let you know if I hear any updates. There are a few more things that I wanted to talk about in What's Up in Makeup today, but they didn't really have enough meat on them, enough juice per se, to warrant an entire story. So here are just a few news bites for you. First of all, on May 18th, P&G had to temporarily close their offices because of a security risk. The SWAT team was called. The local Fox News affiliate, though, Fox 19, now confirmed that the SWAT team was there, but they also have a video of the dudes on their phones. So apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. I just blown away, just absolutely blown away by this. But anyway, it turns out there was a disgruntled employee and that was the security risk, but it seems all is well. Second story, two brands are now Leaping Bunny certified, Elf and Aveda. Now, Elf was PETA certified, but now they're Leaping Bunny certified. And if you don't know the difference, PETA is extremely easy to get. You basically have to be like, oh, we're cruelty free. And PETA's like, cool, like here's my bunny logo, But Leaping Bunny, you have to go through an entire process. You have to pay a fee. They check your whole supply chain and do all of that stuff. So Leaping Bunny really is the gold standard of cruelty free. So it's cool to see more brands being approved by Leaping Bunny, which is run by Cruelty Free International. Companies sold two hair care brands, the majority stake in hair care brands Amika and Eva NYC. They've been purchased by a company called the Banks Group. They don't own any beauty brands except for one. It's called Effique, and that's the only beauty brand. This is their first hair care acquisitions, and it seems like they're really focused on pushing toward clean, eco-friendly products. So I would imagine that that's what's going to happen with these two brands. So I don't know how that's going to affect the formulas of the products. They do say that they're going to continue to operate as individuals under their respective brand presidents. Next up, celebrity skincare line that may be coming. Maybe. Jessica Simpson skincare may be on the horizon at some point because according to a press release, she just received a bunch of funding for her, quote, rapidly expanding portfolio. She plans to, quote, further develop the existing business and expand the brand into new categories, including skincare and health and wellness. According to current trademarks, potential names for the brand include Beauty Crush, Fancy Forever, and Sweet Kisses, but these are relatively old trademarks. I think the newest one was from 2021, so there may be new trademarks in the works. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Top news, I am going to conclude with a new brand that just came to Ulta, and I'm actually really thankful that these kinds of things are now being talked about and they're not as taboo. So the brand is called Womaness, and it is the first menopause-focused beauty brand at Ulta. Products include sleep, joint support, and dietary supplements, as well as skincare for the neck, face, body, and external vagina to help you get ready for a little something, or just to, keep that area just moisturized and happy. So if you are interested in those products, they're available at Ulta right now. Moving on to the product report, we talked last week about Chloe Morello's Sereni Beauty. At that point, we didn't know what the products were. It has now launched. So we have the Overnight Overhaul, $60. It is essentially a hydrating sleep mask, not like a mask you put on like a sheet mask, but like a thick, you're supposed to put on it's like a thick moisturizer essentially. One thing that was kind of weird for me because the whole branding is very serene and very, calming is one of the videos for this product has Lizzo's About Damn Time playing in the background, which seems completely anti this brand, but it's a great song. As my friend Audra would say, it's a bop. So I don't blame her for putting it in there, but it just caught me a little off guard as far as the branding goes. Along with that one skincare product, she also has a market bag, a clip, and a comb that are available. So yeah, go check it out if you're interested. Next one is a product that I was not surprised is happening. Smashbox is extending their Becca highlighter range. If you don't know the backstory, Becca was sold to Estee Lauder. Smashbox is an Estee Lauder company as well. Becca closed down in 2021, but they wanted to keep one of their hero products alive. So what they did was they took their highlighter in Champagne Pop, which was created by Jaclyn Hill, and they moved that over to the Smashbox brand, and they have it as like a Smashbox Loves Becca product or whatever, so they could continue to sell this particular highlighter highlighter. Well, it must have gone very well because they are launching 4 more of the classic Becca shades. They're launching Opal, Moonstone, Rose Quartz, and Chocolate Geode. I owned Opal and Rose Quartz and loved both of those, so I think that it is really smart of Smashbox to take those on, and I think that is only a matter of time before that under eye corrector comes back. Just wait for it. It's probably coming. I don't usually talk about nails on What's Up in Makeup, but I found this to be very interesting. Nails Inc. is partnering with Magnum. They are expanding their chocolate-scented nail polish line. You know how much I love my chocolate-scented products, so this one is very intriguing to me. The collaboration is also to promote Magnum's new double-dipped ice cream bar. It's called Duet Bars. They have the almond, chocolate, and cookie flavors available in stores, but the nail polishes, there are 6 of them kind of in tribute to those flavors. They're on Nails Inc.'s website now for $8 a piece. Many moons ago, we talked about how Donnie Davy, the makeup artist over on Euphoria, was launching her own makeup line called Half Magic. Well, it has launched, and it does look like the way that I personally thought it was going to look. It is very Euphoria-esque. Now, it is partially funded, I guess, or backed by the production team over at Euphoria, but it was created by Donnie Davy. She had full control over the products and what she called the customer experience. Products range from a $10 tool all the way up to Get the Look bundles, which I think are really smart. The most expensive Get the Look bundle is $172. The line includes eye paints, eye glitters, dual-ended lip liners, lipsticks, highlighters, a setting spray, face gems, and face decals. There's also a makeup bag and hairpins. Congratulations, Donnie Davy. I hope that your target market absolutely loves this, because that is not me. I am not the target market, and that's okay. There were a few more launches this week, but the show is getting so long that we're just going to go ahead and move on to PR Purchase Product of the Week. We'll chat about the more relevant ones next week. So for PR Purchase Product of the Week, everything I'm going to be sharing with you is purchased. This here is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder and Shade #1. I did have this in my Friday video. If you want to see that again, linked down below. But I'm still playing with this with different combinations. So I used a different skincare routine today. I also used the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation over top of it, and it did break up just a little bit more on me today. It might also be because it's hotter in my house today. It is hotter outside. So maybe there was some sweat on my skin. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep playing with this. I do think that my skin looks really pretty, but it took a little bit for me to blend it a little more today, and I don't know if it was the skincare or the foundation or what, so I'm gonna keep you posted on this. I'm kind of on the fence with it. After that review, I was more positive. Now I'm inching a little bit more toward I'm gonna keep playing though. I promise you this will be in a favorites and fails countdown at some point once I get a full final thought on it. Just as an FYI, on my eyes today, I do have the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette, but I've talked about that a million times. I freaking love it. On my lips today, I did a fun lip combo. So this is Lazy Daisy by Dose of Colors, and then I topped it with the Jones Road lip gloss. And I did give this a pretty negative review in Friday's video as far as it as a lip product because it wears off pretty quickly. It's a very mediocre balm, but I really like it over top of this liquid lipstick. It blended into it really nicely. It doesn't seem to be messing with the formula of the liquid lipstick at all, and I think that's how I'm gonna use this from now on, so I did wanna give you that as an update. Notable sales this week, we have the Supergoop Friends and Family 20% off site-wide through May 24th. Use code SUNNY20. They have fantastic sunscreens if you're in the market for one. Dose of Colors. These liquid lipsticks are amazing. 50% off site-wide for their 9th birthday. Ends tonight. BoxyCharm, Friends, F-R-E-N-Z, and Family, up to 80% off. There was some discussion in our What's Up in Makeup Hunters group about how the sale worked. And it looks like even if you're not a BoxyCharm subscriber, you can go over there. But their discussion was really interesting because they were kind of talking about how a lot of the products that are in this sale are ones that were in BoxyCharm's products at least 6 months ago, and some products just can't sit on the shelf for that long and still be good, especially certain skincare products. So just shop with caution, thinking about what you're buying and whether you care whether it's been on the shelves. I mean, things like powder eyeshadows and stuff, that's not even gonna matter, but some skincare products, it may make a difference depending on the preservative system that's in there. And then the last sale to talk about is Macy's is taking their stab at a 21 days of beauty kind of thing, but it's 10 days and it's 50% off daily deals over at Macy's. They say that there are more online deals and also deals in store if you're interested in that, but it does end on May 30th. And finally, our artist shout out of the week. Wait till you see her. Oh my gosh. So this is Marcela Perez, and she was born in El Salvador, but she is living in Spain. And holy moly, like what? She's got a ton of followers over on TikTok, but her Instagram isn't quite as big because Instagram, it's ridiculous. The low subscriber and follower counts of people that are this insanely talented. I mean, she still has a lot of followers, but not as many as she probably should. Let's check it out. So the caption on this one is called, "We are all brothers, children of the same Mother Earth." And this is her wishing peace for the war in Ukraine. I mean, there are so many things to love about this look. It's hard to even narrow it down. I mean, I think for me, what stands out the most is the contrast on the chest and how she works the shading to be so multi-dimensional. And I also love the blonde brows and how that really helps you to focus on the dove instead of her brows, which I love. Let's go ahead and look at the second look. This is called Fiona, and it is based on one of her favorite movies, Shrek, obviously. And what I appreciate about this is just the level of detail and the accuracy. It is incredible. Even down to the expression on her face. Like, seriously? I'm just not gonna talk anymore and just let you just enjoy this look for just a second because it's beautiful. And then finally, Encanto, one of my favorite movies of this year. If you haven't seen it, it is a fabulous movie. And I was wondering, as I'm looking at this, how this all fits onto her real face. And thankfully, she does have a video of it all going on. I mean, I do have to block out the sound because of copyright, but definitely go over to her Instagram for the full appreciation with the music and everything. But it just blows me away. This whole look, her talent. It really is such a blessing to have Instagram and have this free content where we can enjoy and be able to see things like this absolutely free. It blows my mind because you used to have to go to an art gallery to see things like this, and now you just pick up your phone and it's right there. So if you would like to enjoy her content more, I will link her Instagram down below. I just followed her, and you can go ahead and follow her too so that she shows up on your feed when you're scrolling next time you're on Instagram. And that, my friend, was What's Up in Makeup this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very intense show. I know I enjoyed creating it for you. And of course, thank you as always to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook hunters. Their names are scrolling below me. Thank you so much for all of your submissions this week. I appreciate you with all of my heart and soul. Our chat today is going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you can make it. If you can't make it, that is no problem at all. You can always catch it on the replay. It's really easy to find if you're subscribed. You just go over to your channel page and click on my video. It should be right there. But if you're not subscribed, you can also find it by going to my channel page, clicking on my videos, and then clicking on the video titled Live Chat. It'll be right there for you. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you loved the show. If you would like to hang out just a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos over here for you to watch, including last week's episode of What's Up in Makeup, which was really good. Highly recommend. But if you do have to go, it is no problem at all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!